All you've got to do is have a look at the children today and realise the amount of allergies that are out there. So the immune system of the population growing up has been affected by the amount of processed food and stuff that we're eating. My name's Ross McDonald. I'm the owner of Macquariedale Organic Wines in the Hunter Valley. My background is as a chemical engineer, and it wasn't until I got involved in the food chain that we realised just how toxic some of the chemicals that were being used in the food chain were. The standard methodology of growing grapes is to use lots of herbicides. We realised it was influencing the flavour of the wine to some extent, but also the health of the individuals that are drinking it.
People are becoming more and more conscious about what they put in their bodies and what effect these have on the health of themselves and the environment. They're looking for ethical and sustainable alternatives for the things that they do every single day. This including having a cold beer or a glass of wine in the evening. And the alcohol industry is rapidly answering the call, adopting green methods of production to create products that are altogether better for consumers and for the environment.
We've chosen the term Green Star, green initially, to definitely outline the green sort of credentials of the brewery, and the 5-pointed star of revolution, comrades, that we can actually all start to make a little bit of a revolution happening down here. I'm Matt. I'm the owner and operator of the St Peter's Brewery. We're here in the inner west of Sydney. We do very much a hands-on approach to brewing. Boots and all is how I describe it. Historically, breweries have always operated this way. What I've done here is focused on probably just 3 or 4 postcodes around this general brewery, which means our delivery structure is immediate. There's no distribution network, there's no trucks running across the country, running semi-trailers from Margaret River to sell beer in the hotel in Newtown when you can buy it from here is just ludicrous.
On a small scale, the production of alcohol has traditionally always been made in an ethical and sustainable way. However, nowadays, fewer companies are controlling more of the market, and this big business has resulted in a more industrialised standard of production.
The alcohol industry, most of the time, they are making mass products. So what it means they are using pesticides, they don't have any traceability on the product they will use, and the farmers at the beginning of the supply chain, they will not necessarily be well paid. So my name is Grégoire. I'm actually a French-Australian citizen, and I set up a business called Noble Spirits, and I import to Australia the first ethical spirits brand in Australia. A vodka is a neutral spirit, so in theory it doesn't taste anything. But why don't you drink a product that will bring good values to the people? It's about people conscious about that.
But is the alcohol market just sticking on labels like green and biodynamic as a form of marketing? To suck in an expanding audience of single origin drinking, paleo diet eating hipsters? Or is it truly with the intention of bettering the ethical standing of what we drink?
I think in Australia the problem, people don't exactly know what fair trade or ethical stand for. So I use quinoa as a bit of marketing way to actually attract people and have people think about what they drink and say, hold on a sec, you put quinoa in my vodka. What? And then I explained, I said, actually, we use quinoa for the ethical part. The quinoa is more a marketing factor to attract people in Australia.
But despite all of these efforts for eco-friendly production, a lot of Australian alcohol producers are falling behind compared to global standards.
Having plastic crates to deliver beer is the industry standard in China, in India, right through Europe. We're lagging way behind.
In southern France and Italy, some of the really best vineyards, you'd go into areas in southern Rhone, and it was always, I found that it was always either organic and biodynamic, those wines. A lot of the Australian grape growers have got their head in the sand, and they're not prepared to move towards a more ecological outcome.